Welcome back. Now I'd like to share some final thoughts about the interview with Vince. And he mentioned about 3 crucial elements to become a successful or even more successful entrepreneur. And the first element is to be passionate. The second one is to consistently sharpening your mind. If you did have a chance to listen to my episode 0 when I talk about my background and the mission of the podcast, I did mention about that, the importance of consistently challenge your mind. A lot of different ways to do that. But you can read in a book, listen to an audiobook or a podcast, or watching a video on YouTube, or go to a convention, go to seminars. There's so many different ways to challenge your mind. If there's something, maybe a situation that you're stuck, open your mind, see different angles, and whatever you feel that applies to you, use it. Whatever you don't, just put to the side. But consistently challenge your mind, consistently sharpen your mind. The third one is to make sure that you do for the right reason. Of course, there are moments in your entrepreneurial journey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to grind, you got to do what you got to do. That means sometimes even working in jobs that you don't want, you're not that happy with it, but that's as long as you have a goal in mind, you know there's a phase that you have to go through. It is what it is. You got to do it. Now, when you get to a phase that's all you do is that extrinsic motivation of just the reward, just the money, at one point you're going to get tired of it. And when the hard times come, it's going to be hard to be passionate just about the money, which was the very first element that he mentioned. That's why having the balancing between the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is huge, because you, of course, yes, the extrinsic motivation, that the reward, everyone needs to get compensated financially for what you do. And why not be compensated financially well for something that you love doing, that you enjoy, you have fulfillment? Not always you're going to be able to just, that's your first job, that's the first goal, you go for it. Yes, sometimes you might have to get another job until you get to the transition. As I mentioned, one of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes, work full-time on your living, part-time on your dream, and hopefully one day your part-time dream becomes the full-time. So that's why at one point you're going to have to maybe do some stuff that you really don't. I had to do some in my entrepreneurial journey until you get to the point to actually do what you love and have the balance of the intrinsic and the extrinsic motivation. Now, to wrap up the final thoughts, I would like to mention about one of the last questions that I asked Vince, which was, what is the best advice that you've ever received? And he mentioned about an advice that one of his friends, successful entrepreneur, that told him, slow down. Because as I mentioned, successful entrepreneur, that wasn't a grind, just one mode, just one speed. And at one point in his life, he decided to spend more time with his kids, but his kids were already getting older. And he was mentioning this to Vince. And the sad thing is that 6 months later, he ended up passing away with a cancer. And that event made Vince to make a lot of adjustments in his life to start to slow down, because life goes by fast, man. And I totally relate with this message. About 5 to 6 years ago, I was going through a rough time personally and professionally, and I had a revelation. And this revelation came as a metaphor to me. And I'd like to share with you. Maybe this can inspire you in some way. But I'd like you to think about, if you were a train, what kind of train would you be? A regular train or a bullet train? Which means you'd go fast or just regular and steady. Personally, when I had my revelation, I saw myself as a bullet train. Just going fast, going after goals and dreams nonstop. But I realized that I was a bullet train with an irresponsible conductor, not a responsible conductor, which means I was not stopping at any of my stations. Whatever those stations mean to you, that could be the station, could be the time for yourself, time for your family, time for your health. Whatever that is, make sure that you are a responsible conductor, not an irresponsible one. Back in 2017, I had another revelation. I decided that I didn't want to be a bullet train anymore. I just want to be a regular train. Anytime I need to activate my bullet train speed, if I have something that I'm super passionate about it and I want to speed up my intensity, I can do that at any time. But I want to make sure that I'm doing that as a responsible conductor, not an irresponsible one. And that's the message that I want to leave to you is I don't care what train you're going to ride in your life. If it's a bullet train, it's going to go fast, you're going to be intense, regular train. Just make sure that you're a responsible conductor, not an irresponsible one. So you can stop at your stations and you don't have to look back and regret, oh man, I should have gone a little slower. I should have stopped to smell the roses. And there's a cool phrase from Ferris Bueller, the movie. I say, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. So make sure that you go fast. If you want to go to your goals and dreams, yeah, do that. But make sure that you stop at your stations, not the stations that others expect you to stop, but whatever makes sense to you for your life, for your personal, professional life, for your family, for your own happiness and fulfillment. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next episode.
We're glad you were able to join us for this episode of the BJJ Mental Coach Podcast, but the lesson doesn't end here. Watch the videos and download the audio of the 10 mental mistakes BJJ competitors make and how to avoid them for free when you subscribe to the BJJMentalCoach.com. Don't miss the chance to find out what might be holding you back from being your best self on and off the mat. That's the BJJMentalCoach.com.